Okay. We've got the tea leaf cards, Circle of Life Tarot, and archetypes. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. I don't know how much further we're going to get. Just one second. You were in the tulip trade. Now, at one point in history, tulips were traded like money. They were like big deal. You were keeping books and records. You were a merchant of tulips in the tulip trade. I don't know what time in history this is, but it was a thing. This would be kind of like more where your homeland was. You were a businesswoman. There was a time where women did more in business than, you know, in recent times there's been patriarchy strongly felt. But there are certain societies along the way where the business women were big time because the men were away doing this, that, the other. Like if you look up Petra or you look up some of the civilizations of old, and this is what it was. Okay. You pretty much sponsored the entire valley or wherever it was that you lived by running the show in the tulip trade. I don't need any more of these. What the fuck is that about? I'm totally surprised. Again, flowers upside downness and a certain divine gift, a certain divine design and influence on you doing this. It's like you were born under the star to do that, to lead this group, to lead this community. And this is being born under that star for that specific purpose. Now, tulips, when you plant them, then they double and they double. Like, you can get really prolific tulips fast. And I don't know if they were used to dye fabrics or what, but there was some reason that they brought a huge amount of gold to you. You enjoyed the commerce. This is all about the dance, back and forth, back and forth. You enjoyed the commerce. You knew what you were doing. You knew how to communicate. You were a multilingual person here. What the heck? Let me have some water. You've done this before. There's something about you, inherent to you, that is very strong in the leadership, in a tribal leadership type of situation. Whether it's your family now, or whether it was a tribe, or whether it's this community. You've done this before, and when things are really shitty and things are on the difficult times, you devise a way, a strategic plan. It's like the universe drops a, and you're like, this is the golden idea. We're going to do this. So when people have difficulties and anxiety, they come to you. You listen closely. I don't even think this is listening that you're doing just by yourself. I think that this is like ancestors too. This is part of the line, part of the lineage, part of what's going on. When I look at these, I don't know. These cards don't go together in any way other than, here's the conch shell. Here she is swimming around doing her thing. But when these line like this is a match in the lineage. This is like a gift. This is a foundational gift that helps you swim and helps you navigate through difficult emotional times when things are really difficult. There's anxiety and stress, and you see, laser focus. Laser focus clear on that. I'm getting daughter of a daughter. Matriarchal leadership is in the lineage. Is that what I'm getting? Yes, that's what I'm getting. Queen of Pentacles comes out with a big screaming fuck yeah. This is what you did. You were a commerce woman. Big time. I don't even just think it was your one particular little group and community. It would be like if there were multiple groups or families or tribes, communities, then the leaders would get together. You would be at that meeting. You'd be like, like the meeting of the minds that might be multiple nationalities or multiple family groups coming together. What's going on here? If I can get an idea. There was much travel. Much travel. 8 different groups traveling. Here's the chariot momentum, all of this. There was much travel. There's 8 different groups that you would lead. And it's like, this is where you would do the trading. This would be like a yearly thing, too, that you would go to, at least yearly. Maybe twice a year. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. What about it? Twice a year. Now, this is a meeting up. One of them is bigger in the spring. Big in the spring. The other is almost in the dead of winter, I'm getting. This is after everybody's stressed out. Whether the harvest comes in or not, there's a rebalancing that happens. This is where you balance it out again. Now, you have the 9 and the 10 here, but this is like the dark winter months. So one in spring, summer, early, and one in the dark winter. You would meet up. You'd renegotiate things. Not just business, not just commerce. What else is going on here? Further back. Hang on. Further back, festivities. Big time festivities. There's a lot of strong influence here. This feminine influence is strong. This is like, supported by the fairy realm is what I'm getting in times of wine. What is this about? Times of wine and magic and rest. What the heck? Oh! It's because the tulips and the weddings and tulips and flowers being an occasion where people would celebrate. It's like, in modern times we would have weddings and flowers and wine all together. In times of celebrations, and this time too, there would be wine and there would be flowers and there would be celebration, big time celebrations. Big times where there was unions and coming together. Yeah, you did make arrangements on all kinds of fronts. Wow. There came a time when you were weary to do this. It was almost a little bit too much. You constantly had the candles burning, constantly doing all these, but you got older. This is her getting older, not capable of maintaining it all the time. It's like the baton needed to be passed. You didn't want to pass the baton too early on. You lived a long time. You lived to be quite old, and you were like in charge, big chief, commander at large, whatever it is. You were the head honcho, so to speak, for a long time, but you needed to pass it on. Did you pass it on? Was it something that you just say, so-and-so, you're in charge? I don't know if it's something you name somebody before they're even born, or after they're here, you see, oh, they've proved their thing. I have no idea. Okay, quit asking. Look. You bring the gifts to somebody in childhood, and you notice the gifts and the way they do things in their childhood, and that's what you notice. You notice the way they navigate. You notice the way they communicate. You notice how freely they flow between anxiety and stress. You notice this about them. It's like, you notice how they would handle Christmas time. You notice how that would be for them. Now, this is coming up. This is a devil card, but this is Santa Claus. This is coming up as Santa Claus and kids and how he would handle things. This is what you would notice. This is what you paid attention to. You noticed who was the hoarder. Okay. There was a Hector the Collector type person. I don't know if you know that Shel Silverstein poem. It's like the junk collector. You notice who was the collector and what they would collect. You would notice what people would keep and whether they would just keep themselves all surrounded by it or what they would do with, like, this is a time before you would share or trade toys, but that's what you were noticing. You were watching kids make their deals from the time they were like 6 or 7. You would watch how they deal. Like on Halloween when they would trade candies, you would be very keenly aware if that were the circumstance. We're in Halloween now. Halloween wasn't a thing then. But you would notice how this would happen. I think Christmas or a winter celebration was more of a thing. The winter gifts, what somebody would bring, you would notice who would be like the Shorty Pringles. You'll have to look up Shorty Pringles Christmas. You would notice that. Oh. And you notice who was fat and fair. Who made money, who got fat but was also fair. This is, whoever was fat and fair was abundant, shared their abundance, shared their wealth. You notice who that was. Who looked after the littles, who was fat and fair, who helped, who had the knack for sharing in the more feminine way, that there's receptive sharing and trading and fair and multitasking, not in the masculine way for your culture. Yeah, you would pass the baton and pass who it is. You would know before you died, and you would tell whoever it was before you died. It would be named, but you would know it probably from the time they were really young. I don't think you wanted to relinquish, because I think you wanted to give time for this person to be ready. This person had to fight a few battles on their own, and it took a little bit of time. They dug themselves into a little bit of a situation, had to dig themselves back out. You didn't know if they were capable and if they would. Because of that, you held on to your power for quite some time. You didn't want to let it go. Really? This is you watching them as they practice, listening to them practice and plunk. Like, here you see the piano master and the person hiding behind there. It's like this would be you hiding back here, listening to them practice, listening to them make deals, listening to how they work their way out of shenanigans.
I still notice what people do, also intuition on character.
Yeah, because you listen. You're hearing between the notes, and you listen to the clunky sounds without making a judgment right off the bat. You'll lean in a little deeper than that. You don't judge in a shallow manner. I've never been in the shallows. Okay, all right, what else? One more time. I'm getting deep water dance. What is that? I don't know. You made the map. Eventually you had to let go, but you made the map. You gave whoever it was the lay of the land. You gave them the instructions. You gave them the knowledge. You handed it down. You passed them everything that they would need to take care of the world. When you passed away, you had to let go. Like you did not want to leave Earth life. You wanted the deep water dance. It's like you had lots of golden moments. The stars were favoring you in this. Lots of money all around you all the time, and wisdom to take your time to be patient. Wisdom to go with the flow. Clear understanding. Oh. When the time came for you to cross over, the other one, the ancestor that passed you this role of leadership, this person that did this, they came to get you. And you would do that for the next. They would show up at your death, and you would show up at the death of whoever this one is to help them cross over. The deep water dance. The deep water dance is the stuff you do in between lives in your spirit form. Show them this card, honey. The deep water dance. It's one person greeting the other to help them cross over. It's nothing to do with the lovers on the card. It's about crossing over into the earthly versus the spirit, the emotional, cosmic sea, the cosmic wash of things versus being in the earth mode. It's soul connection. It's kindred spirit, soul family, soul tribe. And it's this merchant that knows how to trade tulips and knows how to look for these good gifts and knows when to see Hector the Collector, or how to yield and how to honor things. Very, very matriarchal knowing and owning of things. Very strong gifts in the matrilineal line. Continuing still. It will continue still. That's where it stops. This crossing over doesn't want me to go any further than this. But that's what it was about. That's wild. Yeah. This is it in a nutshell. It's right here. Right here. This in a nutshell. Wow. And, yeah. the fat givers too. I don't know how to put that. Somebody that had wealth and abundance and was able to give too. Knew how to share. And knew how to make money. Smart. Commercially smart. Yeah, that's what I've got. That's complete. Wow. Phil? Yeah, I thought we'd maybe go into a little bit more of some different things. No. You keep following where it goes, and that's where you go. So, yeah, that's complete.
All right, she put so beautiful.
Does that... I imagine that makes sense a little bit more. When I do these, usually it's somebody... I read these, and somebody knows exactly what I'm talking about. Because of history repeating. Like, this is supposed to be genuinely the devil, but it came up as Santa Claus. Why? I don't know why. There isn't a Santa card in tarot, even if it's a Circle of Life tarot. There isn't a, ho, 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 this is Santa. No.